Hey everyone, good evening to all of you who are tuning in to Mind Over Matter at Namami Live. Hello everyone. Just gonna wait for a minute or two. So today's topic on Mind Over Matter with me, Binaisha Karas, is procrastination. We're going to be talking about how powerful procrastination is and how it really stops us from moving forward. So I'm just going to wait for a minute for everyone to tune in. Till then, hello everyone who all are here. Some of you asking me how I am. I'm very well. Hope you are well too. Alright, so let's begin with procrastination and what is procrastination really all about. So let's start with why do people procrastinate? Actually, let's start with, do you procrastinate? So answer me down in the comments below. Do you procrastinate? Okay. Some of you have answered in the question box saying definitely yes. Okay. Some of you have said thumbs up, yes. Great. So most of us and all of us have procrastinated at some point of time in our lives, right? So let's start off with understanding that what are the obvious reasons? What are the obvious reasons that we procrastinate? Okay. So the first reason is skill deficiency. Now what I mean by skill deficiency here is the fact that I don't know how to do it. So there are many things in our lives which we don't know how to do so. There are many things that we don't have the skill sets for, correct? You and I don't know everything. And there are many things that we don't know, correct? So moving on to the skill deficiency part is where a lot of us get into this mood and say that, hey, you know what? I don't know how to do so. I don't know how to get going with this task and I'm just not going to do it, or I'll do it later once I learn it. So what happens here is that a lot of us feel that because we don't know how to do it, it's like a permanent stop for us to not be able to learn how to do it. But that actually is not true. So skill deficiency is something wherein that you can work towards by actually learning the skill. So a hack here is that write down a bunch of things that you feel that you don't know. For example, a lot of some of my image management colleagues do ask me, saying that, okay, how do we make videos like these? Or how can we make graphics? Or how is it that you shoot in a particular way? Or how can you actually conduct a session in some format or the other? Correct? So what really here we are looking towards is that we need to make a list that actually helps us identify what are the gaps, right? So that is a hack to kind of get to skill deficiency. All right, moving on to the next one, which is, lack of interest, which is something that all of us say to ourselves, and I'm really not interested in something like this. I don't really think this is something up to my interest levels, or, I don't want to do it because I don't find it interesting, or I don't know how to make it interesting. Well, here's a tip that I would like to say to you. Why not find someone who finds this task interesting? So for example, if you feel like the same task, so you're in an office, okay? You're in an office and you've been assigned a job. Now, it's not like you don't know how to do, but you definitely don't find it interesting. So even though it is a part of your, KRAs that you have to do so, but you are not interested in it, you can actually get in touch with somebody, a colleague of yours, and understand how you can bring fun to the matter. So by doing it with someone who actually finds this task very interesting, not only do you do the task, right? Second, you actually learn a new way that you might have never thought of to do the same task in a very interesting format. And this is how it actually becomes interesting to you. You would learn a different perspective to it. The other thing that you can do is, if you are not interested, set aside treats for yourself. So all of us are, stimulated by treats, right? At the end of it, what's in it for me is all of us are asking. So what's in it for you is making a treat, putting a treat for yourself at the end of the task that you have to do. So for students, if at all you have to do homework, tell yourself that fair enough, I'll give myself 30 minutes to 1 hour to do this homework, and thereafter I will get half an hour of extra Netflix time or extra play down time or anything that you truly enjoy and cherish, or I will eat something that's yummy. So what happens here is that psychologically you're tricking yourself. You're actually not working for the task, but you are working to get to the end of the treat. So this is something that can kind of make things interesting for you. Another thing that comes to my mind is you can break tasks up, right? So it's really important that when you see something in its magnitude, you actually have to start working on it in smaller aspects. It cannot be embraced altogether, right? You cannot climb a mountain in one day. You have to go small step by steps. Similarly, if you have a mammoth task at hand, something that's really large or might not be physically large, but to you it is really big. Maybe to me it might be really small, but if you say that, no, you know what, Banaisha, this is something that I just can't do it, and it's going to take me a lot to do so. No worries. Break it down into smaller tasks. Each small task can have a smaller reward. And at the end of the whole task done, you can give yourself a bigger reward. This is how you can synergize the reward strategy as well as breaking smaller things down to make it interesting for you. The other thing that is the third obvious thing that people procrastinate is the reason why people procrastinate is lack of motivation. Now a lot of my clients, tell me, Panasha, I'm not motivated to do this. I'm not excited to do this. My motivation levels are very, very low. So I don't feel like doing it. Well, true motivation does not come instantly to you, right? That is a myth, right? You are never really motivated instantly to do something unless you know that it's going to benefit you in some way or the other. So motivation comes side by side or hand in hand with knowing exactly what's in it for me, which is what's the benefit that it's going to bring me. So what is this task going to do for me, right? So for example, if you're going to work out, right? No one likes working out. Let's be real. There are very few people who like, going to the gym and getting themselves worked up. That's great. That's their passion. But everyone doesn't have the same passion. So how do you get yourself to be more fit and get to work out as well? So what you really need to keep in mind is the end goal. So your end goal will be, you'll be a fit person, you'll be a healthy person, you'll have the body that you wish for, you will have more confidence, right? So these are 4 things that you're actually going to the gym for. You're not really going to the gym for the ambiance. You're not going to the gym for the clothes that you're going to wear. You're going for these 4 things. And that is going to get you motivated. So on the first day of the gym, remember these 4 things. Don't remember that you have to wake up at 5 or 6 in the morning and actually go to the gym or work yourself out, even if you're doing it at home. So motivation only comes when you actually see results while you are doing the task. So every time you think that I'm not motivated today to actually go to the gym, and you procrastinate and say tomorrow I will start, the real sweet deal is to think, if I don't do it today, that's one more day of being unfit. That's one more day of being in an unhealthy body. So that's what's going to get you motivated. So these are three obvious things that people kind of go, I'm procrastinating about. But why do we become procrastinators? Okay. So there are many such reasons why we become procrastinators, but I kind of listed down a few here to discuss with you. So first and foremost is that we don't have a schedule. We all go with the flow. Now remember that only dead fish go with the flow, right? Once you're dead, that's when you float. But when you're alive, you actually have to, strut your way around. You actually have to discover new things around you. So have a schedule. You can't wake up in the morning and say, you know what, I'm just going to take the day as it comes. Are you on a holiday? Well, then you can take the day as it comes. But people on a holiday, this is a fun fact, people on a holiday plan more for the holiday than when people are actually not on a holiday and they are in their regular lives. Strange, right? Imagine if we actually put so much effort into our planning for our daily lives, we would be more productive, and then we would be more successful, we would be more profitable, and we could then take more holidays. But we don't land up thinking like that, and it becomes a more idealistic thought. And it took me years on end to start thinking like this, which is why I'm giving you a first-hand, all these chats which I have with you on every Monday on Mind Over Matter are pretty much things that I've learned from my mistakes, and this is something that I apply. So don't be someone who just goes with the flow. Have a schedule. That's point one. The second is that we don't take responsibilities. Now, a lot of times we keep on passing the parcel. I mean, that was a great game while we were kids, but we can't be passing the parcel all the time, right? So if you've got an assignment, make sure you've built a schedule and you're on it. You're on top of your game, and take responsibility for it. Whether it's working out in the morning, you are responsible for your health, right? It's not your cook who makes the food. You have to tell your cook what to make. And in some cases, we are our own cooks, right? So we need to be mindful, right? We need to be absolutely mindful and responsible about our actions, our thoughts, and our words that we say to ourselves, and that then transcend into our actions and towards others. So take responsibilities, point number two. The other thing is that a lot of us can't stand adversity. We're in a very stressful situation. I'm not going to do it. It's too much stress. It's too much work. COVID is going on. I can't do this. Hey, which means you're at home, which means you have more time, which means you can function better. Why? What has COVID got to do with your productivity at home? Nothing at all. Nothing. In fact, now you don't have external distractions. All you have is your internal distractions. We aren't distracted by things around us. We get distracted. We choose to get distracted. So procrastination isn't just a habit. It's a choice. It's a choice that we make to do something or not do something. Clearly, procrastination is not to do something. So we make that choice. We decide on picking on that habit, because a habit is something that you do repetitively that then becomes a part of your daily routine. That is the meaning of habit. So if you keep on choosing procrastination at every step you go, sure, so be it. Then you'll just be someone who keeps on delaying things all the time, right? So I would say take on responsibility, and that will help you in adverse situations. That will help you to deal in stressful situations and stressful times, because you take responsibility. Another thing is, we always have a backup person. So, as children, unfortunately, we were all taught this by saying, okay, if this doesn't work, then what? What's your plan B? A lot of times, we all humans focus on plan B. The real thing is to focus on plan A. We're so inherently negative as individuals, and I guess because everything around us isn't so positive currently right now as well, that we actually think that our plan A will never work. So our plan B has to be better. If you think that you are always someone who's making A plan and B plan, start analyzing your B plan. Your B plan, you will start to realize that it's actually much more effective than your A plan. And if you are someone like that, then start thinking that plan A is the real deal and B is just a backup, right? So let's all focus on plan A. We keep on having these procrastination thoughts that we have a backup person. If I don't do it, mom's gonna do it. If I don't do it, my brother's gonna do it. If I don't do it, my sister's gonna do it. My dad's gonna do it. My driver will get it for me. Or, my colleague will do this for me. Or somebody else is gonna do this for me. Why? Your plan A. Take responsibility for your own deeds. Take responsibility for your own things. When you want to be acknowledged, you go for that, right? You don't send your mom and say, oh, actually it was my mom who did my school project. She doesn't get the acknowledgement. You do. You feel gratification. So you are plan A, which means procrastination cannot have a plan B. Otherwise, you'll probably be procrastinating all throughout, right? And lastly, we are all waiting for this right time. Muhurat kab hoga, when we do the right thing. So I'm someone who does not believe in murats. Okay, I didn't even get married at that particular time to fit that murat, because I believe you pick a day and that whole day is a good day. So know that there is never going to be a right time. Every single moment is right time, and it's how you make it right for yourself that then benefits you or doesn't benefit you, right? So it's really, really important that we don't sit on ourselves and say, when the time is right, I will do so. There's never going to be a right time. In fact, I did a survey for relationship purposes, and I asked a bunch of people, what is stopping you from getting married? Most people said, I'm waiting for the right time. And the next question I asked them, so when is the right time? And they said, I don't know, we'll see. Well, you never really see, because there is no right time. You go with your feeling and you go with your gut, and that is the right time. Now is the right time. Because, hey, you wanted to take a trip, but you didn't take a trip because you said now is not the right time, and then boom, COVID came. Now you're sitting at home for a very long time. No trip. Get it? So it wasn't the right time to make that decision. So these are a few things that a lot of people procrastinate really about. Now you'd say, okay, but Aisha, now I've understood these are all the things that I do. But how can I actually deal with my procrastination, correct? So I've given you a few hacks already. First hack is make it small, so cut it down, right? So make sure that everything you chunk it smaller. The second point is treat yourself at every small chunk that you do. Don't be too hard on yourself, like I have to finish this 4-hour project all back-to-back 4 hours. No, just break it down a bit. Don't be so hard on yourself, especially because if you're going from someone who's been a procrastinator to someone who's just suddenly doing a swap, it's not going to work out, right? We don't shed all our weight in one day. It takes us a while. So similarly, break the chunk down. The other thing was that I mentioned, the third point is dead fish go with the flow. So you don't need to go with the flow. Make a schedule. Schedule is something supremely important. I have a whole bunch of post-its that I stick on my desk to kind of understand for which client, what do I really need to do, or for what project, what do I really need to do. So scheduling is supremely important. If you think success comes to people just like magic, or they're entitled, or they're rich, no, they all plan. Successful people plan. So make sure you are planning, and then after planning, second step is to execute. So whenever you are making a schedule, make sure you're setting a realistic schedule. The other pointer that I would like to give out to is it's really, really important to set the mood right when you're doing some work thing. And I'm a firm believer is that you need to make your space, your workspace, conducive to the person you are. So if you can see the frames above me right now, a few of them. So these are a few quotes that I really like, and I'm currently in my workstation. So I've made sure that the place that I work from home even is actually aligned to my thoughts as the person I am, as the work that I do. So my roles and goals are aligned. At the same time, my ambiance is aligned too. So if you need to put a candle where you're working for good fragrance, put a fancy water bottle to be motivated to drink a lot more water, put a clock if you feel like you need to be more on schedule, use post-its. So use all of these tools to actually get you excited to work. I still remember when I was a kid, I used to use a really good pen to actually write my exams, because I felt like if I'm going to write for 3 hours, I need a really good pen. So that's what I mean by setting the mood. So like I said, procrastination is not a habit alone. It is a choice that then becomes a habit. So you have to decide how far do you want to go. So this is me on procrastination. I am happy to take on any kind of questions that you would have. So I've opened up comments, and you can leave your questions as well here in the question box. Looking forward to some questions. Alright, so I hope you all enjoyed, and not enjoyed, but it was insightful of what I spoke to you. Okay. Alright, some of you have said, wow, I'm doing a lot of things wrong. Well, it's not about doing the wrong things, it's about getting yourself to do the right things. Someone's asked me if I'm a dietitian. No, I'm not a dietitian. I am an image consultant and a mental health enhancer. We're talking about mental health here, about you not being a procrastinator. Alright. So do we have any more questions? Okay, we've got a question here. So how do we save ourselves from it becoming a habit? So like I said, what you would need to do is identify how are you talking to yourself whenever you need to do a task. So if you need to clean the dishes probably, and you're saying, nah, I'll do it after I watch this episode. How about you clean the dishes so you can watch more episodes? And treat yourself like that. Trick your mind in that direction. If you have to finish your homework, why not say, I'll finish everything that I need to do and get it out of that way, and then go on to actually enjoying yourself. There is a famous book which is called Eat That Frog, which says that you must go on to eat something that you don't enjoy. So I'm going to quickly take a moment here to give you a quick example. Because I think some of you have asked me in the question box the same question of how can I get rid of my procrastination? How can I get off my laziness? So I was taking a flight from Delhi to Mumbai, and I was served a dish. I was served a meal, and then there was chicken, and then there was cauliflower, and then broccoli in my dish. And what I realized was that I actually loved eating the chicken. But what I landed up doing was I was eating the cauliflower and the broccoli and all first, so I could enjoy my chicken last. Sometimes what happens is that we can get really full doing the wrong things. I realized while I was eating, I was getting full on things that I did not like, versus I was waiting for the right time to eat my chicken. So it's really important that sometimes we don't have to wait for the right moment, but we need to act on it. Because even procrastination can come in these small areas as well. I will read a book. Well, you don't land up ever starting on reading that book because you're waiting for the right time to start. So it's really important that you just leap on to the activity. You do the activity, and then you kind of see what else is left to do or not to do. Everything you're not going to like and to do always, but you have to figure out a way around it. So I hope that answer really helped 3 to 4 of you who've asked me a similar question. I procrastinate about my career. How do I change that? So if you're procrastinating about your career, what you're going to do is when the time really comes, say you're 21, and by the time you're 25, and you should be having something that you're going for. At 25, you will then start to compromise on your career because you haven't planned. So most times in procrastination situations, we land up compromising instead of having planned earlier. So I would say that give your career its due respect. Everything needs that respect. If you feel you need the respect, so does the task, so does your homework, so does your career, so do those dishes lying in the dishwasher. All of them need your respect. The minute you start to give these things respect, rather than making them just checklists, you will start to realize that a lot of things start working in your favor. You have more time to do what you love rather than what you need to do. Alright, so we're taking on the last question. How to deal with procrastination related to studies. I think I just mentioned about it, how to organize your subject schedule. How does mental health stimulate our fertility issues? So mental health is really important for any your mind, your brain is in your entire body, and everything is interconnected. All our body organs are independent yet interdependent. So if you are if you are someone who is working towards building a family, right, and you are stressing about something, you are avoiding something in your mind and it's bringing you anxiety, it's going to kind of move into the other aspects of your life. So when you are in that situation wherein you actually need to give your partner time, but your mind is somewhere else, you are going to have that conflict and it's not going to fertilize into anything. So keep in mind that your mind is everything and that all that matters. A lot of people cure themselves of cancer by just being more positive, by just being more present, by just living in the here and now, by focusing on themselves rather than on everything else around. So mental health is highly important for anything in your life for you to be successful. I hope I've answered you. Thank you for such lovely compliments. All right, great. So I hope that all of you have enjoyed as much as you said you have, and looking forward to meeting you all and some more of you next Monday on Mind Over Matter here on Namami Live. Take care and see you soon.